Good morning. It is 9 o'clock. Straight up. August 23rd, 2023 on a Wednesday, not a Thursday. I've been thinking all day that it was Thursday. I made that mistake during Fortnite this morning, telling the guys that that was our last day of playing. No, it's tomorrow is our last day of playing for the current season. Oh, check audio. Let's see, the audio indicator says that I've got audio. I've muted the sound for you, so you won't hear this. Yep, I'm hearing myself over YouTube. I hear voices. And unmute that. Where am I going to start with? It seems like there was something we were talking about towards the end of the show yesterday, some kind of troubleshooting we were trying to get the results of. I don't know what that was. So let's go look at channel comments. Sin Vicious. Hey there, Master Doug is responding to Windows Daily number 276, which was 2 days ago. Hey there, Master Doug. I missed your broadcast, but it wasn't overwhelming. What? Is he dissing me? It wasn't overwhelming. I get scam emails all the time in Hotmail. I hover the cursor over the name that exposes exactly where it was sent from normally. Now I have to find instructions on how to change one's handle. I'm a little confused by this. Am I too hot? No, I spoke loudly, so I saw a red thing there. Get scam emails. So he's referring to the scam email that we're showing from, I think it was from Brian. Hover the cursor over the name. That would only be relevant when you're using an email client where you hover over the name and it shows you the email address that it was sent from. But what we were talking about during that video is different because Brian was showing us that the reply to address had been modified by the sender of the email. So hovering over the name, that does not expose what we were talking about on that day. This is when you click reply, the name, the address that it's sending to is going to be different. And I also incorrectly showed how to go find that. And I actually didn't get there at all. So let me come over here and see if I can replicate the right way to do this. And it depends upon your email client. Okay, so here is an email that was sent to me by YouTube. So the reply to address is going to be from YouTube. The address that they sent from, I can see that not by hovering, but I can see the from address in here. It came from no reply at YouTube. Is that the reply to address on this email? Now, in the email, when you go look for the reply to address, it might not be there because if it's not configured differently, or I'm not sure when it happens, but sometimes the reply to is not going to be in the details. So the way to do that here is show original, not what I showed last time where somewhere else. Show original. So this should show. So here it comes from no reply, but if we scroll down here and then do Control F and search for the word reply, and then click to the next one, and here is a reply to. Message ID reply to, and that doesn't even look like a coded. I think they didn't put in anything there. But the reply to can be different than the sent from address. Now this is showing from, and it hit the word reply there simply because that was part of that name. That is still not the reply to. So this email does not have a reply to designated address to reply to. Feeling a little redundant there. Then come back to channel comments. And then Sin Vicious also goes on. Now I have to find out instructions how to change one's handle. Well, the place we use the word handle is on your YouTube channel name. And the place to do that, we've seen that a couple times. It was customization. I'm going to go to customization and then basic info. and then here's your handle. So you can put in a new handle here. Sin Vicious is not, I don't think that's the same person that we know affectionately as Sin or the Drunken Troll. And I know that because when I click to go to this channel, I'm not going to show that. Let's see, down here. Does that take me to the channel? No, I think I need to click on that. So I'm going to take that off because some people aren't happy when their channel gets exposed. So that's actually Sin Vicious. It's not the one that we know as Sin followed by an exclamation point. Appears to be a different person. All right, so I will send a response to that later showing the timestamp in this video. Let's see, looking over at chat over here, right channel only for Doug. Doug, a little confused, understatement of the year. What's up? Just watching, getting ready for premiere. Ken Stout. Yes, I already have Ken Stout's premiere scheduled. You appear to be coming out of the right channel speaker only. Really? Well, I'm on the cardioid. I'm not on the stereo. So that would indicate that you're set to listen in stereo, but I'm broadcasting in mono. So if I switch my setting to stereo, which would be this one, now when I go to one side of the microphone, you should hear me in one ear. When I go to the other side of the microphone, you should hear me in the other ear. Okay, then continuing to the next. From Pineapple Road. This is a little bit long. I've ended up with an annoying computer problem on my hands, which I'm ready to give up on. I won't go into detail as to why, but I ended up having to do a factory reset using the built-in recovery image provided by the manufacturer of a Windows on ARM laptop. This particular one is made by Samsung, so it's the Samsung recovery image. And now the laptop seems to be failing to install the most recent security update. The factory reset sent the laptop all the way back to the original build Windows 11 that it came with. You might have to do interim updates. If you're like going to the Windows Update catalog and download the most recent catalog, the most recent cumulative update. If you go look at the updates that supersedes, you might find that it does not go all the way back to your original. So you may have to go search for cumulative updates that are like half a year out from that original date and manually install that, download and install that cumulative update. So you might have to manually install cumulative updates to get yourself up to the point where the most current cumulative update will install. I think that's what's going on there. It gets as far as the point where it restarts, but after it gets to the boot up screen, after the first part of the install, it hangs on that screen. That makes total sense if what I'm describing is what's happening there. The one with the manufacturer's logo and spinning thing, spinning wheel of death, spinning circle of death. I think Carrie Holzman calls it the toilet bowl symbol. Or at least it stayed on that screen for an hour or more before I turned it off, which doesn't seem normal to me. With it being Windows on ARM device, I can't just use an ISO to do a clean install. So I guess they don't have ISOs for Windows on ARM. I didn't know that. The reset this PC, I thought they would or did. The reset this PC feature is currently completely broken. Only a factory reset works. Yeah, reset this PC from Windows is not going to work because you don't have a valid cumulative update installed. Only a factory reset works. Hesitant to use UU dump. I don't know what that is. As the one time I used an ISO from there, I guess that's maybe a particular website on such a device, I ended up with a semi-broken install. About half the built-in and OEM apps suddenly showed up as incompatible or corrupted, including the settings app. I did an in-place upgrade rather than a clean install as I wanted to make sure the OEM image wasn't wiped in case things went wrong. Now, once you get a valid, let's go look at the Windows Update catalog. I'm going to go check up my most recent cumulative update for Big Beast build. And let's see, go to update history. I want to get the KB number for a recent cumulative update. Here, this KB number. Then I'll go to the update catalog, find that update, and check to see what it supersedes. Let's see, update catalog, Microsoft. It should get me there. Here's catalog.update.microsoft.com. You could go straight to that address and then search for that KB number and click search. So now when you click on this to see more details, what you want to do is go look at package details. This update replaces the following updates. When you do the manufacturer's reset, if the KB number of that particular update is not in this list, then you're not going to be able to perform this update directly from the manufacturer's restore point. You would have to go search back earlier. So like for me, if I take and select cumulative update for Windows 11 22H2 for ARM64 based systems, copy that, and then paste that into the search field, I should be able to then see dates going way back. So now going way back to a date that's closer to the date of your manufacturer's restored image, and then install that cumulative update, and then jump forward maybe a year or 6 months, whatever increment, but you have to do it in increments where, let's see, if we go to this cumulative update, we can see what it replaces. So I think that's what's going on with your situation. This update replaces the following updates. So now then also, like if you've installed this cumulative update, so now which one should you install next? Well, find the latest date in this list up here. This update has been replaced by the following updates. This will show you what is the most recent update that you can install based upon the currently installed cumulative update. Ken Stout, there will be a quiz. I hope you're taking notes. Okay, then go back to the rest of Pineapple Road's comments. I've already decided that going forward, I would only buy Microsoft Surface Windows on ARM devices instead of this one, which was a Samsung. Samsung. As Microsoft provides downloadable recovery images for their products, and those images are updated every now and then, and I do have plans to purchase such a device by the end of the year. Well, that implies to me that you found that you can't go to the Samsung site and download an original image for your computer. That's disappointing if that's the case. All right, now is Pineapple Road in chat today? I don't think so. So I will send him a reply with a link to this point in the video. So I'm only halfway through my episode. Then Dennis says, suspense. Video stopped after you switched the virtual background. We will need more in a future episode of Windows Daily. Virtual background. That's ringing a bell of familiarity when I was talking about that troubleshooting thing we were doing at the end of yesterday's episode. What was that? What was that about? I don't know. Let's go pop out chat here. I already have chat popped out, I think. And say hello to people. Robert, Ken, Bobby, Brian. Did Big Beast crash on yesterday's exit? No, it did not. Oh, that's what it was, right? Had to do with the Big Beast crash problem on yesterday's exit. It did not. What happened in yesterday's exit is I had a call coming from a client that I had been playing phone tag with, and I wanted to catch that call before it went to voicemail. So I ended the stream very quickly. You did not actually hear my last comments when I ended the stream, but Big Beast Build did not crash. Like the symptom that we were dealing with, where it was, I would switch to a virtual background and it would crash right away. That was the symptom that was happening consistently. When I switched to a virtual background or a blur background in Zoom, it would just crash right away. So Windows 11 did fix that symptom. Period. Period. Comma. Semicolon. Did it crash? Was it Memorex or was it real? Only his hairdresser knows for sure. Well, the real DougBetts, please stand up. Semicolon. What did he mean by that? Brian Lightfoot, solution to last night's challenge. Index, match, match. These are Excel formulas. So if I bring Excel up here, this one called index, I start with an equal sign, index, and put a parenthesis. So the first argument of this is array. So right here, C3 colon E9, that's the array that you want to look up. And then the second argument is for row number. So for row number is using the match function and its arguments to come up with the row number that he's wanting to look up. And then for column number, the third argument is here after that comma there. For the third argument, he's using a function called match, which is the same as this function, but it's got different parameters there. So that's what the index function is. It is finding a value at a certain row and column within this array. Then if I backspace over index and type match, parenthesis, the arguments for the match function is lookup value. So this first argument, B13 in this one, or B14 in this one, is a cell address. Like here's column B, row 14 down here. So it's looking up the value that's at that location. And here's the second argument is the lookup array. So the lookup array is C3 colon C9. So all of the data that exists between cell C3, which would be right here, and C9, which would be down here, so it's just a column, that's the array. And the match type, I need to go check on what match types are. It's indicating whether you want to take the value that's in that column or the next column, I think is what the match type is for. So it's he's using match functions to provide the arguments for this index function. I'm guessing that has to do with Ken Stout wanting to come up with an Excel spreadsheet to manage his golf scores. Insert that into Battle Royale. BR, Battle Royale, is that what he's referring to that? Insert that into BR from Brian to Ken Stout. I don't think he was meaning Battle Royale. That's BR. I don't know. Spreadsheet. I don't know how that is labeled BR. Brian Lightfoot, I got hired as a security guard and my job was to watch The Office. I'm on season 8 and I still can't figure out what this has to do with security. You did get a laugh out loud from me because I did read that before starting the show. Rick Lakes, Ran Israel, Jeff Ryman, Greg M, the channel thing, Doug a little confused, understatement of the year, giving a weather report, Selden Ball, Ken Stout, Josh Kendra, Speedy C, just watching Doug getting ready for my premiere, got 12 minutes left, right channel, back chat, back chat now from Nicholas Hooks, check your speakers, audio is fine, Intermute, Age Alice, hello Alice, Rick Lakes, Ken Stout, thanks for the redirect. I'm hearing Doug only in center channel on hi-fi, but after he changed the mic, I heard him from left to right. I don't mind if you show my information, like my YouTube channel or email address. Thank you, Josh. That's convenient to have that blanket approval. UUDump creates ISO files from Windows builds, not recommended for novice users. Thank you for that explanation. Daniel Emberley, hello, good to see you too. After buying a nice Windows phone, I don't trust Microsoft when it comes to long-term support for ARM devices. Oh, because she didn't have a good experience with Windows Phone because they bailed on it. They gave it up. Yeah, so ARM devices, I got no interest in going there. People saying hellos to each other's. Yes, you had tested the virtual background in Zoom and the video promptly stopped soon after, but it did not crash immediately like that. Was it because of Windows 11 fixed that symptom with Zoom crashing immediately? Also had troubles with yesterday's updates for Windows 10 from Alice. You can give us more information about the troubles or send me an email with more detail, pictures if you'd like. If you're looking for more suggestions what to do. I don't do Microsoft Office stuff since retiring from USAF. Martin Hogg, we get an update here, do we? Update on the Windows 8.1 to Win 10. Now completed. Fresh install. Fixed by changing the install language to US, then changing back to UK later. Wow, how about that? Let's see. He had replaced a spinning drive with an SSD and a laptop, and he wasn't able to then upgrade to Windows 10. Now completed a fresh install. So I think he did. I was suggesting use diskpart to delete the existing partitions, do a fresh install, then try doing the upgrade. So he did a fresh install and then completed fresh install. I don't know whether that fresh install was 8.1 or Windows 10, then doing the upgrade, change the install language. So I'm also suspecting that you restored the backup image of the C drive and then were able to do the upgrade to Windows 10. So glad to know that you got it up. Ken says, spreadsheet is up and running, working flawlessly. However, the same could not be said of my golf game. So now, Doug, what happened with this? End of yesterday's show. Here's just before I changed to the virtual background in Zoom, and I'll press spacebar, and then I changed to the virtual background. And normally what was happening with the problem symptom is it was crashing right away. You see me turn my head back and forth to demonstrate that it is still working. So Windows 11 did fix the symptom of Zoom crashing right away when I changed to a virtual background. So people's guess is that I told them to put in 1 if you think Windows 11 fixed the problem. So Tim, you were correct. Brian, you were correct. Speedy C, you were correct. John Williams, you're correct. Alice, you were all correct because installing Windows 11 did fix that symptom. You people who put in zeros, well, you were also kind of right because it did crash several minutes later. And I've done several videos I did yesterday of more tests. And the longest one here, I haven't actually gone back and watched it, but here's a 4 gigabyte video. How long is that video? Let's see, it's 3 hours long, and I ran it with the Zoom without a virtual background and XSplit open, and it ran for a couple hours, and I came back here after being out doing some client service calls. I came back here towards the end and turned on the virtual background. The video is playing now. You should see me come back to the screen and change it to the virtual background. Here I am coming back, and I changed to the virtual background, and here we go. I've got 7 minutes left. Here goes the virtual background, and then I've got this task manager open so we can see numbers going, and it lasts for it actually lasted longer than what it recorded because when it crashes, when it locks up, XSplit doesn't get the last tail end. So it would typically last about 2 minutes and then crash. And that is stable and consistent. So I have a stable and consistent symptom. Doug, what else did you do to track this down? Okay, so if I restart the computer and only use Zoom without XSplit, only Zoom, never move the image around, just turn on the virtual background, then it'll last a couple minutes and then lock up with nothing else running. Now that's not a clean boot because I have not yet actually deactivated all of the other startup items, so I haven't done that piece yet. I have uninstalled Zoom and installed the older version that somebody successfully gave me a link for in yesterday's live stream. Let's see, give them credit where credit is due. That was Ran Israel. Yes, I installed that one, which was version 5.12.3. is the oldest one that will successfully still log in. So with a fresh reboot and only that version of Zoom, I have the same symptom. So that did not solve the problem. My next steps are disable all of the background software. So just disable all of the startup items. And I mean all of them. Restart the computer and just do Zoom. Try to do something that makes a difference. If that still fails, my next step, since I have a full image backup, I will do a fresh install of Windows 11 on, I was thinking about putting in a separate NVMe drive, but then I said, no, I'll use this same one, because what if the problem is on that drive? So I'll do a fresh install in the C partition on that NVMe and install only Zoom, and turn on the virtual background and see if it crashes. If it doesn't crash, then I'll start adding other elements. Now, at that point, I'm probably going to want to put in a separate NVMe drive so that I can have a dual boot for a period of time, because it's going to take a long time for me to build up everything that I want running on this computer. I want to get to a good setup. Now, let's see, other hardware things. Overnight, I did a memory test, a full memory test with MemTest86, where you do a fresh boot on the thumb drive, and it came up with no errors. Then what about hardware acceleration? Yes, in Zoom, I disabled all of the hardware acceleration. Still exact same symptom, no difference. Good question. Thanks for asking that, because I did get the results of that. So then here is the MemTest86. That's the end. I think that was the end of it. Yeah, past 2 of 4. Well, when I stopped it this morning, so it only got some part way into the second pass. And then here's some other reports. I haven't looked at all the details closely. If anyone else cares to, you could do that. Now let me slam backwards. I'm going backwards on the pictures. I don't think there's any point in seeing this other stuff. So here's some other, I just got it captured of these other menu settings in MemTest86. And then here's where you see I turned the hardware acceleration off for all of that Zoom stuff, and that was at 6:38 p.m. last night. So hardware acceleration turned off, did not make any difference whatsoever. Okay, do I have anything else to say? I'm still on time for sending to Ken's premiere. Dennis, for that, go to your show. Let's see. That goes for you too, about anything, exposing anything about his stuff. Windows 11 is slower than Windows 10 when preparing to crash. Wow. All right. I think you got to laugh out loud out of that, Ran Israel. Windows 11 is slower than Windows 10, even when preparing to crash. That was good. Sin Vicious, hello. Sin Vicious, is that the response that I was giving on, Sin Vicious, did you hear my responses to you here? I did responses to you earlier in today's live stream. Give me a yes or no so that I don't have to send that notice to you. Lawn Dog, oh Doug, that's interesting about using the same NVMe drive. Remember what happened to me? One particular function did not work. I wonder if you shouldn't check the NVMe drive. I have looked at Crystal Disk Info. There are no stats on Crystal Disk Info that are alarming for the NVMe drive or any of the other drives in Big Beast build. I did check all of those. He says he'll find it. Yeah, it was near the beginning of today's video. And I can even find that for you, because all I got to do is swipe back through here. I'm looking at my shirt to make sure I got the right one. Yeah, here it is. Right there near the beginning, just a couple minutes into the video. So he has not seen that yet, but we'll go find it. And thank you for the question. So look at this. I have time to spare. I can't now see. I've got to turn on seconds for Windows 11 does not show me seconds. My watch tells me I got 35 seconds left. Dennis has a YouTube premiere at 11 a.m. You're welcome to put in the link for it, Dennis. Can I grab the link quick enough? If I go to Fortnite tabs, Dennis's show, will I get to his? That doesn't show premiere. Do I get it on his home page? I don't get a yeah. I'm not getting it because it's not showing up yet. So here we go. I'm going to bounce out, and thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye. Ah, there, Dennis put the link in. Oh, that's my timer reminding me. Goodbye.